Wait a second. Sorry. More technical difficulties. Goodness gracious. I'm not a guy that's a big fan of technical difficulties, but I officially now have it fixed.
No one is. No one wants technical difficulties.
I've officially fixed it. Goodness, this is like a roast on me on my end now. But anyway, a lot of the races we are doing this season, we're actually going to be working off each other, having about three races at one track. So besides Daytona, we got the West Coast Swing, Las Vegas, Auto Club in Phoenix. I almost said ISM there. I can't be saying that. But I'm very excited. A lot of my races are going to be on either a Sunday afternoon or a Saturday night. Napa, I know your Chick-fil-A series races, a lot of those are going to be on a Saturday morning or early Saturday afternoon, and Friday night as well for your night races.
Yeah. And of course, we are going to definitely talk about all our series individually here today as well. But yeah, I want to get back to the core race. This is kind of a big deal for us. It'll happen after all the signups are done. But it's definitely an opportunity for us to actually get out there and the rest of the NASCAR community. In a way, I will say I like the fact that we're kind of a little niche community just in the corner and not many people kind of know about us. But I definitely think we got a lot to offer, and I got to hand it to Marty for really, inspiring all of this to happen with the organization of the league and everything. And, we're going to be bouncing off each other throughout the year with our series. And I'm just looking forward to see what it all unfolds to be this year. Of course, not many people know about us, but they're going to be seeing that NOFSRL logo during that core race Thursday, February 6th, which happens to be the night right before the Meliello Smooth Fest goes up, which is officially the first NOFSRL event of the year. So I know you guys are definitely looking forward to that. But yeah, it's a big deal for us to kind of get our name out there. Of course, some of you guys might know that I've done a couple of projects with Griffin Spear. You guys probably know him as Griff Dog, and he's a pretty big guy over there. But other than that, not many people know he exists. And like I said, I think we got a lot to offer, and I definitely want people to at least recognize us. I mean, I'm not trying to ask for a lot of subscribers or anything. I really don't care about that. But but I mainly want to do it for Marty, too, because he's done a lot for me, especially with the NRLA going away. And the sound, the sound's off. No, the sound can't be off. No way the sound's off. No. I don't know what you're saying, man. You just got your computer muted. I'm talking. And I know Marty's going through, too.
I've officially fixed my issues, so I got two viewers right now. One of them's me because I'm watching my chat on my phone. So
yeah, but what was I saying?
I think you were talking. I forgot. You were talking about how you were working on. You were talking about how you were working on projects with other people and how we've been working together for a while.
I want to thank Marty a lot for letting me join his league. And of course, when the NRLA went away, I didn't know what to do. I didn't like the NRLA where it was. And if you guys, understand the story, you get it. But I just wanted to step away from that. I didn't want to be a league owner anymore. But I still absolutely love doing NR Season 3. And Marty, let me in. And here we are. And then we're going to try to take this to bigger things. Of course, Marty's trying to open up sponsorships for his league and all that.
We still got some open spots. So if you're interested, send me a message or let me know in the comments and we can talk further.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, any sponsorship on my end, I'm not really doing it that much, but I'm definitely going to be advertising his series and vice versa, hopefully, in our leagues. But yeah, it's just it's something. I think for me, I've always liked to innovate. I always like to be the first to do things in NR 2003, and I don't know how to make mods or make tracks, but one of my favorite creations is the ticker. If you look at our ticker, it's. I mean, other than the folks I've helped out with, I've had that ticker for a long time. Other than the folks that I've helped out with, the only place you see that like half ticker is around here. So I mean, it's a minor little thing. I'm not trying to brag, but I really like innovating, and that's what we're trying to do. Bouncing off each other, putting the logos on our tracks and things like that. Just trying to do things differently from everyone else because I like being different from everyone else.
Yeah,
that's the way I am. So yeah, I mean, we're excited to innovate in our 2003 offline leagues, and yeah, we'll see what all this happens. But we're looking forward to Daytona Speed Weeks. All begins with Meliello Smooth Fest Friday, February 7th, which is the end of next week. All the returning drivers from Season 8 of the Chick-fil-A Cup who are racing in Season 9 get the race in it. So we're definitely looking forward to that. And yeah, that's when it all kicks off. Less than 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, I think on my end for Speed Weeks, they begin February 7th at 4 o'clock in the afternoon with AT&T Clash Practice. I want to talk more about the Clash when we get to my series part in a moment. But Napa, you got more of the leagues here, so I'm just going to hand the mic off to you.
All right, I've been talking a lot already, but I might as well get it out of the way here. But yeah, we got two leagues starting here in a couple of weeks. Like I mentioned, we got signups this weekend, this Friday night, for both the Chick-fil-A Cup Series and the Turkey Hill Series. I'm going to mention this one more time. Again, you can't drive in both series. You're going to be in one or the other. There are 80 full-time slots total. So there's a lot of slots available on my end. Of course, a lot of you guys know how fast they can fill up on my end. But obviously doing the best I can to make it as fair as possible for everyone to have that shot at being in something, because Turkey Hill Series, Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and later on in May, the Haas IndyCar Series, that is a little while from now. Going to be the only series I plan on doing this year. I think I'm going to take a break in the fall. I know it's a little ways off, but I'm just going to have to see how I feel once we get to that point of the year. I haven't really had a long break from this in a long time, so I'm thinking of possibly kind of going on a little hiatus in the fall. But yeah, Chick-fil-A Cup Series, Daytona 500, that's the big race, and that is February 15th at noon Eastern Time. Of course, we'll have the Smooth Fest, we'll have qualifying, and I've yet to announce this to anyone, not even in the Discord yet, but for the first time ever, single car qualifying in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. That is going to be really fun, and a big reason why we're doing that is because we're bringing in a quote-unquote new package for the super speedways, and I noticed this when I did the Turkey Hill Truck Series race last September. We ran that whole series with a range in the ratings. Of course, if you know me, all the ratings are always equal, but I used to do it where each aspect in each rating was just one solid number. But I'm going to go ahead and bring in a range, and the racing is a lot different and a lot more realistic, actually. They don't cycle through like they used to when you put a range in the ratings for all the drivers. So we're going to go ahead and do that. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to move your way from the back to the front. It's not going to be impossible, of course, but it's going to make qualifying mean a lot more. And I don't like doing single-car qualifying if the qualifying doesn't really mean much to where you finish. That's kind of a common thing with super speedway races on my end. But now that we kind of bring in this new package, we're going to go ahead and do that and do single-car qualifying. It's going to be exactly like they do in real life. Everyone goes out for one lap, and that's it. No rounds, no nothing. We'll have the duels. Uncharted drivers will qualify their way in through the duels, only unless, of course, they start on the front row. And that actually happened last year. But yeah, we're excited for that. We think that the Daytona 500 this year is going to be one of the best ever, and I hope you guys enjoy it. That's going to be, like I mentioned, February 15th at 7 p.m. at noon Eastern Time. Excuse me. And of course, Turkey Hill Series is coming back as well. It's going to be the development series. I'm definitely looking forward to this series coming back. It's been since 2018 since I've done it. It's going to be the first time it's run under the NOFSRL. I never thought I was going to bring it back, but I'm really glad that I did. It's great as a development series to the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and we have so many people who want to be part of our series here on Napa Fan especially, that I like to have that second series open so that we can fill up those slots for everyone to be part of something. It'll be a 28-race season. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've really shown the schedule to you guys yet. Going to go ahead and show you what we got tapped up for the Turkey Hill Series this year. Those are the races right there. You see them on your screen. And it's going to be a great series. It's going to be strict points the whole way through, like it always has been. But it's going to be great to have those guys kind of like bounce off the Chick-fil-A Cup Series and even the New Era Cup Series as well. And another thing is, too, we'll have the Turkey Hill Hot Seat back. That was a great program. I don't want to say it's a great idea because it's my idea, but it was a great program that we had. If you remember back in 2018 when we had the first season of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series that was custom. Of course, we have the 8 uncharted cars in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and they have their own little qualifying session before each qualifying session, before each race in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. But what we're going to do is that the highest finishing driver on each of these groups in the Turkey Hill Series race from the prior week will attempt to qualify in their respective Chick-fil-A Cup Series rides the next week. So if you guys were around in 2018, you know how this works, but these are where each Turkey Hill Series number ride is going to go to the Chick-fil-A Cup Series Uncharted ride. At least on my end. I know you guys can't see that on Marty's end, but yeah.
Oh, they can see it now. They can see it now. I actually just pulled up your stream as well.
Oh, there you go.
They can see what's going on.
But,
they can kind of see.
Definitely looking forward to what we got going on in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series and Turkey Hill Series. And that's just Speed Weeks I'm talking about. But so much going on. Weekly races pretty much. And yeah, it's not much is actually really changing on my end. Like I mentioned in the Discord, we're going to be returning the chase format in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Not the elimination, but the format we used in Season 7 with the addition of a couple wild cards. But other than that, a lot of things are going to stay the same on my end. I like the strict points. I like the consistency being rewarded, and that's what we're going to do. So you guys on my end, you know what to expect, and I hope to bring more of the same to you guys. So, yeah, we're looking forward to it. Going to be a great season, and, yeah, we're going to be right alongside a New Era Cup Series, so it's going to be pretty cool working alongside those guys.
Well, Napa, let me give you a funny thing, because you just said you were announcing single car qualifying for every Chick-fil-A Cup Series race.
No,
guess what?
For the Daytona 500.
Just the Daytona 500. Okay.
I know Nathan actually asked about that. It is just for the Daytona 500. I do not have the time to do that for every single race. The only two races that I plan on doing that are the Daytona 500 and later on the Indianapolis 250. Actually, might as well mention the Haas IndyCar Series a little bit here. We're going to do a hybrid series.
Good idea.
So we're going to have half real-life cars, half custom cars. More information will come out later on in the year on that, as the series will begin with the Indianapolis 250 in May. But lots of exciting things coming up on that fan, especially later on with the IndyCar Series.
So anyway, as you were saying, I am actually doing a single car qualifying for every race in the New Era Cup Series except for 3, and that's going to be the road courses. That's going to have the group qualifying featured, and that details on that to be determined. Well, guys, this is supposed to be one of the biggest series of the New Era Cup Series yet. I think a lot of it as well comes from Season 5 last year, especially in that championship race. You know, the entire race and how the championship went down in the end. All the production work I put in with all the graphics and the intro stuff that we did. There was, and all the viewers, the most viewed New Era Cup Series race I think we ever had on a live stream. So first off, I just want to thank you guys very much for that. We already had signups. I know Napper has not had signups yet for his series, but new record on my channel, 20 minutes. It took for all the cards to be filled up on my end. Yeah, 20 minutes. So that's a new record. And I will say as well, this is the most experienced New Era Cup Series field we ever had. I posted it in the Discord on my end. Let me show you what I was talking about. Where is it? I know it's here. Oh yeah, there it is. Of the 41 drivers that are in the field, 34 are returned for at least their second season. So the most experienced field we've ever had. So now this led to a change. I just talked about the AT&T Clash earlier on. It's going to be one race. It's not going to be the 2 races I did early on when it was known as the AT&T Summer Classic, where the rookies would race and then the veterans would race. It's going to be one race. For those that did not see on the Discord, these are the drivers who are eligible to race. I know you guys can't really see it on Napa's end, but so if you go to my stream, then you can take a look at it. You know what, actually, Napa? I will share my screen just so the viewers can see. I think that would be good.
All right. Well, we'll have to see if this can work out.
It should.
Yeah, share it first before I can do anything.
Oh, never mind. I got to relaunch Discord, so yeah, they can't. So come to my end if you want to see the schedule or the Clash.
Well, I do have the schedule popped
Yeah,
up.
you got the schedule, obviously. Okay.
America Cup Series schedule, so they got that at least.
But yeah, so those are the drivers that are eligible. I think that's about maybe 21 or 22 drivers that are eligible for the Clash as well. So some of the other bigger changes as well to my series, the schedule. I did as well not just a combination. I did as well a combination of the 2020 Cup Series schedule with a few little twists and turns on my end literally to that. Probably the biggest schedule. I think this may be the most hyped schedule. A lot of people told me this is an exciting schedule. Yeah, because if you look closely in the second half of the regular season, for the first time ever, the New Era Cup Series will be going dirt racing. Starting with the starting at Eldora. Let me load the schedule up here on my laptop here. For those that want to see it. You kind of can see it. Give me a moment. Let me get to it. There we go. The Arctic Cat Outdoor Dirt Derby, July 18th. Ignore the 75 there. I'll explain that in a moment. July 18th at 7 o'clock. The format for that, because it's a 30-car track, what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to do heat racing in that. The other two, because they can fit the full field of 40 cars. That's right. We're not going from 42. We're doing 40 this season. We'll be doing heat races for the Dirt Derby to signify that. Also, August 23rd, Springfield at 1 o'clock. That should be fun. And then the cutoff race in the second round of the playoffs is going to be at Oswego during Super Dirt Week as well. For those of you that do not live up in the Northeast or are not really big dirt fans, Super Dirt Week is one of the big traditions in the Dirt Car or the World Racing group. Big Block Modified Sportsmen's all make the trip on to Oswego Speedway, where it's a paved track, but then it converts into a dirt track for 1 week only. And it was one of my favorite experiences, and I don't think you guys will be disappointed at all with this race on October 11th. Also as well, I don't know if Napa did this earlier, but he's doing the Pocono doubleheader. Instead, on my end, during 4th of July weekend, we are doing a Brickyard doubleheader. So we've got the Brickyard Grand Prix, which is the road course, on July 4th, and then it follows up the next day with the Brickyard 400 on July 5th. My races are going to be 25% races, so they're longer than Napa's, with the exception of the Daytona 500 and the Indy 250 on his end. But that's the main schedule. We're only doing one race live, unlike some of the other times of the past few years, and that's going to be the New Era All-Star race, so that way as well, at the same time, we can say who's the fan vote winner when we get into that area as well. Some other announcements as well. Tracks we're returning to. Bristol, for the first time since Season 1. Kansas, first time since Season 3 there. Where's Martinsville? There it is. Martinsville, first time since Season 1. Ricky Raceway, the fan favorite super speedway, first time since season number 3. Pocono, you guys probably heard on the Discord already, the first time since season 1. First time ever, Nashville Fairgrounds. However, though, that the New Era Cup Series won't be the feature event, as my race is actually, don't ignore where it says July 12th at 1 o'clock. That's wrong. It's July 11th, and I think it's 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and then I think Napa, you have yours at 10 o'clock, right?
Yeah, 10 p.m. A big reason, and if you don't mind, I'll actually
go ahead.
Switch over to the Chick-fil-A Cup Series schedule here. I think that's when the truck. No, there's something going on that night, and I didn't want it to conflict with the actual race, so that's why it's at 10 p.m. But yeah, I actually never went over my schedule, but here it is. And by the way, Marty, we actually have the right times on our end. I got open in the NOFSRL schedule, which is available to you guys if you want to check it out. If you go to the NOFSRL channel and then click the little Google link there, you can actually view all the schedules that we have for our series. But I'll let you finish up, and we'll actually discuss the Chick-fil-A Cup Series schedule a little bit.
Yeah, actually, let me see. There were some people that were saying, "Oh, Diego had made a template for me for the New Era Cup Series to use, but I didn't really need it." So yeah, but I guess Mark's excited at the fact that we're going back. We're going to the dirt for the first time ever. Nathan, I know on his end, I think he's watching my stream as well. He's probably the most pumped up for the dirt, so that should be exciting as well. Let me go into the Discord here, see if I didn't really mention anything on here. If I scroll on up, oh yeah, this is pretty big as well. But Napa's doing this on his side, and I'm doing mine. But I am looking for commentators. So if you're not in the New Era Cup Series and you're interested in commentating, I know a lot of you guys like Zach Rogers on my Discord and Christian Russell as well. They're interested in commentating And if you want to join in that, let me know. I'll add you to a role, and then probably maybe the day before I record the race, I'll ping that role, looking for a commentator, maybe two. There will be multiple commentators in a race because I plan on doing this at some of the tracks this year. I'm not too sure where yet, but I'm going to be doing a radio-style commentary, so kind of like what NBC did at Watkins Glen, Pocono, and Indianapolis last season. And with me, that really wants to go into like a radio broadcast-like situation at something like MRN, that would definitely help out big time. So if anyone's interested in doing that, just let me know. Napa, I want to go back to you. Did you happen to talk about? I know this is in the Discord in the Turkey Hill Series Discord, but did you mention as well that you were doing your commentary for your broadcast?
Yeah, I actually forgot to mention this. This is actually kind of a big thing, and I think I've kind of alluded to it. But if you remember, the last time we did the Turkey Hill Series, we had 2 races that were all driver broadcasts. Now I say all driver broadcasts, and you don't have to be a driver to apply for this, but I'm trying here, and I haven't done too much about it yet. I've added quite a few people to the role in the Discord, so that's kind of, we've done quite a bit. But I'm planning on every single race in the Turkey Hill Series to be done by other people. Now, of course, I still record it on my computer. I'm still part of like the intro and the outro for it, but having other commentators be part of the call for the actual race. So this is definitely an exciting thing. I definitely want to get other people an opportunity to join in with the stuff we have going on here on Napa Fan, and just feature other people. I think a big reason why I want to do this, like I mentioned, we're sponsoring that Core League race, and they're going to be kind of featuring us a little bit. They're going to be putting our links in their description, and a lot of people watch that. I kind of want to like pay it back to other people, and have them actually really be a key part in the series. So yeah, I mean, we're going to try this out. We've done it before. I've done it before. It's been a long time since I've done an all driver broadcast, but we're going to do that. Going to try to do that for every race this year in the Turkey Hill Series. So if any of you guys are interested, let me know in the Discord, and I'll see if I can add you on to the roll list. And like Marty said, kind of try to do it like a day before I record the race, let you all know, and we'll get some people together. And as long as we have 2 people each race, we're good. But if you have more, that's awesome. And hopefully you guys are open to doing it. I know a lot of you guys love co-commentating with me. Some of you guys don't have Energy 3, don't have the ability to have it. This is an opportunity for you to be part of the Energy 3 community in a big way. If you don't have the availability to do leagues on your own. And that's what I love doing, especially if guys who don't have that ability, to still give them a shot and being part of a pretty big league. And yeah, that's that.
Anyway, going back onto my end as well, I haven't talked about this yet, but remember when I said in the title of the signups, I said closed, but in parentheses for now? So let me explain that. Those in the Discord know, but for those who don't, there will be more opportunities to get a car this season in the New Era Cup Series, but it would be part-time. So like a lot of the cars that you'll see when we begin the season are going to be 2019. Once they get a 2020 car, they will convert. But there will be some 2020 numbers that were not in that didn't race in 2019. I'll be adding those, and it will be a part-time. I will be announcing those when those rides open up only in the Discord, not on YouTube one bit. So you have to be in the NOFSRL Discord if you want the ride. Let me show as well some of the cars. For those of you that have never really seen a race on my end, I create my schemes a little bit differently. Let me load up a car I actually just finished working on here. It's a PSD. Where is it? I had it. Oh, I know why. It's because they're in there. Alright, so this is John Andrews' car. As I load this up, and yes, Photoshop is amazing. Show you guys how I create my cars real quick. I don't really have a template like Napa does, but if we can zoom in here on my end, you can see I got the
for all of you guys watching on my end, this is only on Marty's end. I don't have the availability of seeing what he's seeing.
So we got the New Era windshield banner, Pole Award, My Series, race car config, and then the last name, and also signatures as well on the cars and how that will work. let me go back to the schedule as well. Playoffs. Yeah, let's talk about the playoffs. Why not? Especially with the Bills being in the playoffs. So, sorry, Napa. I had to mention that.
You want to talk about playoffs?
Yeah. I want to talk about playoffs. But anyway, there's the 10-race playoff schedule on the second page as well. So similar to last year, 16 cars. Seeded based on playoff points how they award. 1 for the stage win, stages 1 and 2, 3 at Charlotte, and 5 for the overall race win as well. New this season, I'm doing something similar to how NASCAR is doing. Top 10 in each stage will get regular race points, and that will help out towards the regular season championship. So that should put a big emphasis as well. And with the fact that we've increased the schedule from 22 to the original 36 from season 1, you should see as well a lot more chances to win and a lot more chances at getting playoff points as well. If there's anything else here, let me see if I didn't mention. I didn't really. Is there anything I'm forgetting? Oh yeah, there's something else I'm forgetting. Those are you guys that know my races in the past. Some of them have been on the hyper and crazy 110%. I'm actually reducing that, taking it down a notch to 108% at some of these races. I think the tracks where I'm just keeping it on 110. Bristol's a good 110 track. Martinsville.
What did you just say?
That's right. I'm keeping it 110 at Bristol. Martinsville, 95. Eldora, the way I have it set, that's going down to 70%. Yeah. Oswego as well. When we go into Super Dirt Week, that's going to be single file restarts only during testing. There is some little bit confusion on double file restarts. So that's going to be single file restarts only when we go to Oswego for Super Dirt Week 400. And as well, I should mention this too. Napa Super Dirt Week. There's actually going to be another race as well on my channel at Oswego. It'll be a 358 modified dirt race. I'm going to explain more of that in a few months. Probably around maybe August or September when we get to that time. 2 more things as well. First off, sponsorship opportunities in the New Era Cup Series. You can watch a video on my channel for more information. Just go to my channel. It's called NOFSRL Sponsorship Opportunities. I got some people that are kind of interested. I got to talk with them more about it as well there. And also, I'm going to do another video on this maybe afterwards or maybe tomorrow. But this is for my channel in general. I've created a Patreon for my channel. Pretty much for my coverage of motorsports on YouTube and on the website I'm a part of, Beyond the Flag on Fansided. I'll provide more of those details in a separate video on how you can support me, the channel, and my coverage on motorsports. I think that's all I got. Is there anything else I forgot, Napa?
Well, it's your series. I don't think so. And I would like to mention, you hear all those rules that he has. He does double file restarts, and he has like 110 for every race. I will say, while we're in the same league, we both run our leagues completely different from each other.
Absolutely.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I think that's another thing I like about the NOFSRL. There isn't a set rules package that we have for the whole thing. We all kind of just do our own thing, and we're part of the league itself. So I think I like that. I really like that. It's not very strict in any such way or anything like that, and it kind of keeps the integrity of each of our series by doing that, which is really nice. But
I got a question.
You went through your whole schedule and everything, and I never really showed you guys. Of course, you guys have seen the schedule already for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, but I'm going to go ahead and go over it in more detail. Of course, Mellow Yellow Smooth Fest, 8 p.m., February 7th. Can't forget that. And like I mentioned, Daytona 500 qualifying will be single car. Mellow Yellow Duel extending out to 15 laps each, February 13th at 6 p.m. Daytona 500, of course, 50 laps, and we extended it. And a lot of it has to do with the new rules package, like I mentioned earlier on. We're doing the range in the ratings, and that allows these guys to kind of stay out front a little bit more than they used to. It's not a full cycle race, so we're excited about that. Big reason why we're extending it. But also, for the first time ever, we will have scheduled pit stops in that race because the race is so long. We kind of have to do that. But we had it in the Christmas Eve 500 where we had one set of pit stops, and it worked out very well. I would imagine, you know how Daytona 500 can be, get a lot of wrecks. They'll probably do their stops under caution, so it shouldn't be an issue. You see the rest of the schedule there. Of course, a lot of these races coincide with the New Era Cup Series. Las Vegas, Auto Club, Phoenix, Atlanta, Homestead, Texas, Bristol. All of those races are on the same weekend as the New Era Cup Series. And the Chick-fil-A Cup Series is kind of the second banana to the New Era Cup Series in terms of the whole league. You guys know the times. It's going to be basically the same for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series on when these races are going to be. You can see the times and the dates right there for it all. And like I mentioned, too, you guys also have access to this spreadsheet as well if you'd like to check it out. A couple things that we do a little bit differently than New Era Cup Series. We go to Rockingham. Actually, both Rockingham, surprisingly enough. And, of course, we have our Rockingham date there, the Cheerwine 400. We've always done that. We also go to Dover. That's my home track. So, I almost took it off the schedule, but it's got to stay. Of course, we have our All-Star race. It's going to be a little bit shorter than Marty's. It's only going to be a 40-lap All-Star race at Charlotte. That's a new thing this year for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, having that All-Star race a little bit earlier on in the schedule instead of it being really late. I think a big problem that we had with the All-Star race is that we had 30 drivers in it every year. I don't want to make that a little bit less. Make it a little bit more exclusive for everyone. Another thing, you might not notice it here, but the Coca-Cola 600 has always traditionally been Saturday night after the Indianapolis 250. It's going to be Friday night before the Indianapolis 250 this year. So I'm looking forward to having that kind of lead up to the Indianapolis 250. Of course, Indy 250 week, a big week for the NOFSRL. That's where we have the 100-lap IndyCar race at Indianapolis in the Haas IndyCar Series. And, you love it. One of my favorite races to do. The longest race that I do every year. Absolutely love it.
I want to add on. Sorry,
yeah,
I want to add on to this as well. I actually just have moved my Coca-Cola 600 to the Saturday night race, so that way, the day after, the greatest day in motorsports, the day before Memorial Day, everyone can enjoy it and just watch some awesome racing.
Mm-hmm. You started with the NOFSRL, and then you lead right into real life, and of course, that's the best weekend in all of racing, no doubt about it. And of course, we have a lot of big events. Actually, it's not the longest event in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series anymore because we extended the Daytona 500, but it always was the longest race in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series and the longest race in the IndyCar Series, going right on each other right there. We're going to be going to Portland. That's replacing Road America in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series schedule. We'll have to see how that all goes down. That's going to be a Saturday afternoon race at 5 p.m. A bit of a different time for a Chick-fil-A Cup Series race, but that's when we do it. And I really want to talk about this one. We don't have Alex with us right now, but the James and Dean Wickard shootout. We're going to be doing that again this year, I should say, at North Wilkesboro. Had an absolute blast doing it last year with them, and we're going to do it again. Only this year, we're going to add the Chick-fil-A Cup Series along to that weekend for the Friday night feature. We'll talk more about that. We'll get Alex in. He knows all about that, and it is his event. And of course, if you don't know James and Dean Wickard, members of this community a few years ago, unfortunately passed away in a car crash. And every year we commemorate them and just kind of honor the whole Interstate 3 community and what it represents for us with that huge event. Lots of different classes, late models, modifieds, and it was all Alex Bonsignore's idea as well. So it's his event. We're looking forward to that. That's going to be June 11th through June 13th. 3 nights of racing, and it's all on Napa Fan, and we're definitely looking forward to all that coming up. Doubleheader Pocono, Marty mentioned it earlier on. We'll have 2 races there, and then we end the regular season at Indianapolis. We actually had done that a couple of seasons where we had regular season. It's actually been the last race before the chase. I still call it the chase. And it's just how I do it.
You're not alone. I kind of call it the chase as well, but I'm used to those good old playoffs.
The chase, and it's more of the chase than the playoffs for us because it's just a strict points battle in those last 10 races. You see where that line is. The chase begins at Nashville Fairgrounds for us. That's going to be a huge event, and that race is going to be July 10th. So I do believe that. Yours is still going to actually be after mine. I think you have it set to July 11th.
My schedule was wrong because I'm using the same track you're using, the Fairgrounds night. I was originally thinking Fairgrounds day, and then I found Fairgrounds night, so I'm starting it at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time because I believe that's in about 90 minutes because I've tried to make sure my races start 90 minutes before the actual Cup race or Xfinity race, whenever it is. So that because my broadcasts are usually about an hour long.
Right. You have July 11th as your date. That race, the Nashville Fairgrounds race, is July 10th.
Yeah. So I think I think I'm still using the night track though, since it's short track Saturday night racing.
Yeah, but you have it a day after, which is you said that the main event was going to be ours, but I think you're wrong about that. We're still the night before, so we're on 2 separate days. Like it normally is.
I'll have to double check,
Yeah. It's a long way down the road. But
absolutely.
Yeah, Nashville Fairgrounds, Armory Digital. Going back there, we're going to shorten the race so we don't end up having the same problem we had when we were there in Season 7. That was a disaster. Hillside in Boston, of course, those 3 tracks are all fictional racetracks. A lot of people wanted to bring some fictional racetracks in. Of course, we've been to 2 of those already, but Hillside is one that we've never been to. That's going to be a midweek race. We're actually going to have 2 races in the same week. July 21st, July 24th there, Hillside and Boston. Fictionally, they're both in the same state of Massachusetts, right next to each other, basically, so it worked out pretty well there. And I was going to get rid of this race, but I figured, you know what, I want to have a mile and a half. It's not even really a true mile and a half, but we have a mile and a half in the chase. That's Rockingham, UK, International 401, presented by the Motor Racing Outreach. Michigan, this is the big race. NOFSRL 500. Absolutely love that one. That's going to be in the chase. We're going to move that down to August. Of course, Watkins Glen, Lake Effect Ice Cream Super Weekend right there. Worldwide Technology Gateway. That's also going to be a fun one. I love going to love the truck race we had there, and we're going to be bringing back that track. I actually used to be on the schedule back in the day in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, but we're going to bring that back. Daytona is going to be the penultimate race of the season with the Valvoline 400. Of course, you guys know the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. You know the Valvoline 400 is one of the staple races of the series, and we're going to be leading up the finale at Darlington, of all places. Mello Southern 500 going to end the season off Labor Day weekend. And yeah, that's going to be a fun race to cap off the season. Of course, we don't have a playoff system like the New Era Cup Series. The top 10 drivers in points, along with 2 wild cards, the 2 highest drivers in points with wins outside the top 10. So it's not the 2 guys with the most wins outside the top 10. It's the 2 guys with the most points who have wins outside the top 10 in points, who get those 2 wild card spots. They all get reset. Bonus points get distributed between them. And then it's a strict points championship between those 12 drivers in the last 10 races of the season. So, man, that's a Chick-fil-A Cup Series schedule. Of course, a little bit shorter than the New Era Cup Series schedule. Of course, it's 30 races, so we're actually going back up from last season. We only had 28 races last year, moving up to 30 races this year, like we had it in season number 7 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. And I mentioned the Indianapolis 250, and I should probably talk about this IndyCar Series schedule. Of course, this is going to be back in May, and like I mentioned, we're going to have realistic cars and also fictional custom cars as well. We'll have the team signups coming up sometime in probably March, I would imagine, for this. But yeah, it starts off with the Indianapolis 250. It's the first time we've actually started the Haas IndyCar Series with the Indianapolis 250 since 2016. Been a long time since we've done that, but I think it's the right move to do, especially considering that we're going to be going custom for some of the cars in this series. So, yeah, we're looking forward to this. Of course, we'll talk about this more in the future. And also, Turkey Hill Series schedule. You see all the dates right there for these guys. And like I mentioned, too, we'll have the other guys kind of come on board and call the races for us. So that'll be kind of cool. Do all driver broadcast all the way through. And like I mentioned, you don't have to be an actual driver in the series. But everyone's kind of part of that if you want to be part of it. So looking forward to that. And just looking forward to 2020. So final thoughts on 2020, Marty. It's going to be a huge year for us. What are you most looking forward to in 2020?
It's going to be fun. Before I answer that question, I want to get to a few of the questions that some of the guys have been asking. I think pretty much all of them have been coming from Diego. So Speed Weeks unofficially for NR 2003Y starts February 7th, but the core race that we're sponsoring is February 6th.
Kind of the unofficial kickoff, really.
Yeah. Yeah. How we do ratings. So I forgot how you do ratings. Your ratings.
I mentioned this. And I'll actually be doing for the Super Speedway races, at least in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. It's a range 100 for aggression, and then 45-65 for everything else. For the intermediate short tracks, it's 100 aggression, and then 60-60 for everything else. So we're doing things a little bit differently between races in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series this year. But that's how I do my ratings. I like to keep everyone equal. I think it's fun and it's fair to everyone to have everyone equal, and we still get a championship battle. I mean, heck, Nathan Baird, defending Chick-fil-A Cup Series champion, won the championship 2 races early. All the cars were completely equal. He won the championship 2 races early. I mean, it's rather realistic, actually, even when everyone's equal, how it all works out. So yeah, that's how I do my ratings.
For me, on my end, though, I just do the typical 40-60 because whenever I finish doing a TGA, which is the car file, which is the paint file, which then you have to convert into a car file in NR 2003. I just create a brand new car and I don't even worry about the ratings. So my ratings are the typical 40-60.
You do know about N ratings, though, right?
I know what N ratings is, yeah.
Okay, good. At least you're aware it exists.
Yeah, I've used N ratings before. When I did my schedule video, before, because I know some of the cars, when downloaded, they were 40-60, so I just used N ratings, converted them into the 2019 season ratings. The final question I had, this is on my end, has there ever been a rookie who has been a champion in the New Era Cup Series? No, there has not.
And that is one thing that's different about the New Era Cup Series from the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. We just had our first rookie champion last season with Nathan Baird. It's actually quite a rare thing, and I think especially with the New Era Cup Series this year, you guys have
34 most experienced
returning drivers.
Most experienced field ever.
That is something else, and I don't even think the Chick-fil-A Cup Series this year is going to have a lot of veterans. But not to that level. Not to that level at all. I mean, that's quite a bit. I mean, kudos to all you guys for coming back. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm one that absolutely loves seeing guys return. You know me. You know I always love my Jesse Turners and Matt Gallios and Trey Bartos and Zachary Fitzwaters. You know, those 4 guys have been in every single season. They're all going to be in season 9 as well, the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Of course, been doing my series since 2015. Been 5 years, and those guys are still around, and so that's awesome. I love seeing those guys. I also like seeing these guys come in too. Don't get me wrong, I love seeing rookies too. I like a good, healthy mix of them. But I think it's totally awesome. You guys who signed up in the New Era Cup Series definitely deserve a pat on the back for coming back. That's awesome. That kind of turnaround, well, it's not much of a turnaround. It's really good and really healthy for a series, in my opinion. And to see that in a series like that, where we don't have drivers locked on every season. Of course, we kind of have those reserves. We both do those reserves, but to see that, it's awesome to see, and it's a good sign for the NOFSRL, in my opinion.
Yeah, we still got it as well, like our notable drivers. I think the Johnny Gardner back in the 2 again for the second straight season. I think third straight in Team Penske, most wins ever in NOFSRL history. Colin Denton, most wins in New Era Cup Series history. Back to his favorite ride, the number 34 A&W. Ford Mustang as well. In fact, I got the roster. Just had it. What the heck? And we got some returning champions. Steve Morgan back in his ride, the number 13. Who else is going to take it? No one but Steve Morgan. Stuart Gratton, Season 3, New Era Cup Series champion, who actually stole the championship from Steve Morgan back in Season 3, for those that remember that. He's back in. He's in the 41. Nathan Stapleton, Justin Zidell, they're in their rides, 42 and the 1 respectively. I know they have only been in for a few seasons though, but this experience, man, this is the most hyped New Era Cup Series season I've been a part of in a long time, and I am pumped.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the experience overall and the hype and the schedule overall. I think that's what I'm really excited for on 2020 on my end, and then the fact that we're sharing some of the races as well on the tracks too. So yeah,
absolutely, yeah. And I also forgot to mention Stuart Gratton. Stuart Gratton, the driver, hasn't been in every season of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, but Stuart Gratton, the person, has had a driver in every season as well. That deserves a lot of credit as well. He's got Mitchell Henderson coming back as well, so that's awesome to see. Awesome to have him back around too. But yeah, I mean, I love it. I've always loved the veterans, so I know exactly what you're feeling, and that's what I modeled the Smooth Fest around. I know you have, with your version of that, the Clash, very original. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. But I know with your version of the Clash, you only had the pole sitters from the prior season, and you got a big field considering you did that because we have so many guys returning. But the fact is, you get about like a 50-50 with guys who were in the last season. And that's why the Melio Smooth Fest has always been drivers who raced in the prior season who are racing this season. We already are at 16 drivers already at this point. The sign-ups haven't even opened yet for the Melio Smooth Fest. So, I mean, it's my favorite race to do. Kicks things off. We don't do any practice or qualifying. We just jump right into it. Organize the starting lineup by the finishing order from the prior season in points. So Nathan Baird will be starting on the pole for the Melio Smooth Fest this year. But yeah, it's definitely cool to see that come back. So all those guys come back for your series, and I'm open for more of the same in the Chick-fil-A Cup series. I mean, it's a pretty staple series. We're running into our 9th season. We've been around a little bit longer than the New Era Cup series. So
yeah. Well,
it's cool to still be here.
I mean, when you began, I think you were doing 2 Chick-fil-A seasons a year. I think I don't know.
The first year I did 3. Some of you guys might remember season 3 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series had 40 races.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
I almost don't want to consider that series to be that season to be canon, but it happened. Cameron Garlington, the champion of that season. But starting with, I think it was season 5 was probably my favorite of them all, and then season 6 is when we started doing it one a year. And we didn't start doing weekly races until season 7. Which was our first season with custom cars. So we're running to our 3rd season with customs, and I think that's, at this point, once you've done customs for that long, it really starts to solidify itself, and you actually start to really recognize the teams that are in the series. So I think that's cool. We have a lot of guys, a lot of teams that started out in season 7 2 years ago who are still in the series, and of course can't forget all the drivers who are still part of the series after all this time. As well. So, and that's one thing, Marty, I love your series. Well, I'd love to see it go custom one day. I think that would be pretty cool if we have 2 custom leagues. And
I actually have not looked at this yet, but Johnny Garner is actually doing a custom scheme this season. So yeah, by the way, I should mention this too. If any of you guys that are watching this video in the New Era Cups and are in the New Era Cup series and you want to do a custom car, that's just fine with me. All that I need for you to do is make it, and I'll send you the stuff you guys need. But let's get to Johnny over
you all go make Marty's series a custom series. Do that.
Then we'll do that, by the way. Ignore that. That's sponsoring your... this is it right here. Okay. So I haven't even taken a look at this yet. So let me show you what Johnny's done. And he does a really good job creating cars for you. The series. He's actually done 2. He's done 2, by the way, so this is his regular scheme this year. The PerTech number 2 Ford Mustang. Actually, when I'll do Napa, I'll just take a screenshot of it, like that, and I'm actually going to put it in the chat. So let me do that right now, real quick. Oh my goodness, we've been streaming for an hour. What the heck?
I'm only at 58 minutes.
I'm technically at 40 minutes. Where is it? Alright, here we go. And that is what Johnny's doing. It's on its way. And then he's doing a special Watkins Glen tribute scheme at the Glen, which is that one right there. Very nice scheme, Johnny. Johnny does a good job with them, I tell you.
Yeah, I can imagine. Johnny Gunner, who am I kidding? He has a Turkey Hill Series team, and he did 3 schemes for that. You guys probably saw him in the scheme showcase video. And tomorrow we're going to upload the scheme showcase for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. And I was originally going to upload that yesterday, but with the Kobe Bryant news, I decided to move it forward just out of respect. But yeah, you'll be able to see all the cars, with the exception of the Kobe Bryant commemorative schemes. I made the video prior, of course, but still, you get to see all the schemes. There'll probably be a few more that come as the season rolls along. But yeah, I mean, we're excited. I'm really excited because I've still got signups to do, and Marty's already done his and all that. But we got signups coming up here, and yeah, it's once we get those cars filled and we get rolling, it's really fun. And it's just going to be a great season for all of us here in the NOFSRL.
Absolutely. So I think that's all we need to talk about, Napa. If we've got anything else, just stay tuned into the Discord.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and just say it out there. Any final questions, anyone watching either end?
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm happy to answer them right now for you. I can't imagine you would have any. I think we've gone over pretty much everything. But any questions you guys have, let us know right now. Be more than happy to answer them for you. But yeah, one thing I will plug it again. NOFSRL on social media. Definitely subscribe to the NOFSRL YouTube channel. That's the main thing, I think.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to getting the weekly update thing kind of rolling. Be fun to actually get that started up and have a little talk show. Is there an All-Star race? We both have our own respective All-Star races.
Yeah.
But we don't have a combined one.
Let's talk about that in the future. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Bring back
the big problem with that right now is that we actually both use different mods.
Yeah, I use 2019.
2019 mod. I use the 2018 mod because I can't stand that 10-foot tall spoiler in the back. I don't know.
What I want to do, what would be pretty cool, if I knew how to do it, I want to edit the mod out. But only for use on super speeders. Use that actual spoiler they use. So I'll show you because I got Justin Haley's diecast last week. So just like this one with that little gap in the middle. That would be nice. But yeah, Roval. Mark is wondering about. That's on my end. I don't know if Napa's doing.
So we don't have the Roval on our end. I tried. I just wasn't a big fan of it. I'm kind of strict with the way I like my races. And there wasn't a good time for it either because we would have probably done it the same weekend as the All-Star race, but I don't know. I think with the Indy 250 kind of starting up, single car qualifying. Let me tell you guys, that is one of the hardest. I mean, at least
it is.
It's difficult. And last year, I can remember when I did Indianapolis 250 qualifying, single car qualifying, I was editing each time a car went around and finished their lap. I changed the ticker in Photoshop. I did that 33 times.
Same here.
In the first video, and then I did it again 18 times the next day. It was a ton of editing, more editing than I think I've ever done on any video before. But a lot of it was, too, I was editing that ticker while I was doing qualifying, which is why for single car qualifying, I'm only doing it for the Daytona 500 and the Indy 250. It's just pointless to do it for other races. I don't have the time to do that. We'll just do the group qualifying like we normally do for that. I
want to go back to that All-Star race because you and I were talking about the combined All-Star race. We used to do, back when Napa had the NRLOA, we used to do a little fun battle on Black Friday.
We did.
That was fun.
I think a big reason why they went away was just because we're so busy during that time of year.
Yeah.
Now. I have the Thanksgiving 500. Of course, that's always going to keep on going on. I said I'd probably take a hiatus in the fall. That race will still go on, regardless. But yeah, it'd be cool to bring that back. Maybe we got to get Alex on board with this. Maybe have something during the James Dean Wickard shootout.
Yeah.
Maybe something along those lines. That's a great event. I definitely want to have Marty involved with that a lot more this year. I know you co-commented a couple things with me last year with that, but I'd love for all three of us. Of course, Alex is kind of an honorary member of the NOFSRL. He doesn't actually do any leagues himself, but we do host his event for him. But yeah, I mean, try that out. Think about something for that. That's still a little ways away. But,
absolutely.
I'd love to bring that back. That was a fun race.
I got a question here from Igor. He's wondering, is qualifying going to be on my channel or in the NOFSRL channel or both of our channels? So on my series, I'm going to have Daytona 500 qualifying on my channel and probably the same thing with Geico 500 qualifying at Talladega. All the other qualifying sessions, they're going to be on the NOFSRL channel. All practices as well, NOFSRL channel, then all races, my channel. Nampa?
So for me, Daytona 500 qualifying will be on Napa Fan. All the other qualifying sessions will be on the NOFSRL channel. I have considered putting the Meliello Duel on the NOFSRL channel. I'm not 100% sure about what I'm going to do there yet with that. We'll also do qualifying for the Turkey Hill Series. I I don't know if I'm going to do qualifying for the Turkey Hill Series for every race or just for select races. I want to do it for every race. I like having qualifying. I like having something actually set the starting lineup that you guys can see, so you know I'm not rigging it. But any Turkey Hill Series qualifying, regardless of what time season, would be on the NOFSRL channel. And Nathan's got another question. Will the NIRA NOFSRL Christmas Eve 500 happen again this year? Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. I love doing that race with the NIRA. That's NRA is we kind of have an unofficial like alliance with them. Of course, Nathan, I've known Nathan forever, known Marty forever. We kind of all know each other. We have our own separate leagues, but Nathan's such a great guy, and we'll do that race again at Daytona, using Hair Gel's Christmas set. But that's long ways off. I'm gonna be legal by the time that comes. A little ways from now.
Igor, then he doesn't have a question, but he says, "Make Napa fan remember his team." I don't know.
Titan Fury Racing. I didn't mention any team. I don't think.
I don't know.
I just mentioned that there are teams that have been, so I didn't actually specifically call anyone out. But yeah, those teams, Titan Fury, your team, Marty, Beast Racing, been in all three.
I'm excited, especially because you were talking earlier about the Kobe Bryant commemorative schemes, just for Speed Weeks. But if it's like a big success, that's maybe the entire season. I'm running a number 8 Kobe tribute for Zachary Fitzwater for the Daytona 500, and I'm going to create it all. It's gonna be fun, I tell ya.
Yeah, it sounds like it will be. Yeah, and of course, very tough news to hear yesterday, but we're gonna commemorate him. The Daytona 500. I mean, I got a little patch made. I'll probably send that to you, Marty, as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Put that on your cars too. But yeah, just like I said, I was not a big basketball fan, but I can understand the impact he had, and I can definitely feel it. So we definitely want to commemorate him and all that. So yeah.
Mark just subbed to the NOFSRL channel. Hey Mark, while you're at it, go follow the social media pages.
I don't think Mark heard that. You cut out.
Mark, go follow the social media pages.
Yes. Instagram has no followers right now.
Except for me, I think. I don't know.
Well, except for you and
I know Twitter's
you and me.
I know Twitter's blowing up. The Twitter one is blowing up big time. I think after the post I put in the Discord, that's been blowing up.
Yeah, it's going pretty good over there.
Yeah.
But we were talking about schemes, weren't we? We're talking about teams. So the three teams, I should probably mention all of them while I'm here. Titan Fury Motorsports, Igor Bretto's team has been in all three. Hamill Racing Enterprises, Derek Campbell's team. American Motorsports, Trey Wright's team. Beast Racing, Marty's team. Shoot. I actually got to go through the list of them to see. I know Otter Island Motorsports, which my team has been in every single season. Seidel Motorsports, and North State Racing. North State Racing is another big one as well. So that's 7 teams. 7 teams that have been in every season of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. 7 teams. Every season that we've done customs, excuse me. Be a little more clear on that. But thank you to all those guys who keep on rolling their teams from year to year. Of course, you guys... You take out the possibility of you guys driving to do that, but you love having your teams, and I can't thank you guys enough for that. And it's cool that we have these teams kind of just stick around. The schemes sometimes stick around. The sponsors, very realistic is what I want to do. And but yeah, I want to thank all those guys for all that you guys have done, keeping those teams going. So
I think
that's about it.
Yeah, that's it. I think so. I'm gonna end the stream on my end. So remember, remember any sponsorship opportunities? Let me know. We'll talk more about that. I'm creating the Patreon video as well, so another way you guys can support me and my motorsports content. So if you guys did enjoy the live stream, a controversial live stream, a technical difficulty live stream, comment, and subscribe. Thank you all for watching. This is Marty. I'll see you guys in the next video. But whenever it is, till then, peace out.